Hey, so today I would like to make a video about how to get paid in an effective way on Upwork so that you don't have any or minimal payment issues, payment related issues. I've been working on Upwork for more than 10 years now, and I've been involved in 17 projects. Some of those are still ongoing. I made more than 1800K on the platform, and I most of my reviews are 5 star except for one. I'm gonna make a video about what happened there. And just in general, so I spent a lot of time on Upwork already. I've logged almost 23,000 hours on the platform on Upwork. So I believe that, yeah, I have more than a decade of experience there. And the reason why I'm making this video is because getting paid on Upwork seems easy. Like you just connect one of the payment methods and you get paid, right? That should be easy, right? Unfortunately, in real life, what I experienced is that sometimes some payment methods could have some trouble. Your payments get late or super late, even like a week late or more than that. And over the years, I had just a couple of these issues that I'm going to talk about that honestly makes, it made my freelancing journey more stressful than it needed to be. And so I thought that I would make a quick video about this to save some headache for others who, might not have a decade of experience here. So I'm just passing on a little bit of knowledge. And also, I moved to Spain with my family. So I'm putting out these videos in the hope that someone else's freelancing journey will be a bit more, like, bit smoother than mine was as I went through it. So why is this important? Why do you, should you even care about how to set up your payment methods? Let me give you a couple of stories of what happened to me. For example, one was Wirecard. I don't know if you heard about Wirecard. In a nutshell, Payoneer, which is one of the payment methods that you can connect, or payment processors or whatever that you can connect to Upwork, used Wirecard, and in which was a big company for payment processing. I believe Wirecard issued like the cards that Pioneer, the credit cards, the card itself that Pioneer had used. And basically in 2020, this company called Wirecard turned into like the Enron of Europe, which means that I'm not sure how much I should explain this, but basically the CEO, I'm sure you're familiar with Enron, but basically the CEO did some money laundering. I think he even took off with like maybe a suitcase of money or something like that and disappeared. Anyways, what I got stuck with is that I moved all of my payments when I got it to my Payoneer card, and Payoneer used Wirecard for their card itself. So basically, I was unsure when I was getting paid. And as in my previous video, I talked about, I tried to talk about how to make your life more stress-free as a freelancer. This is another tip like that, because as you can imagine, my wife wasn't very happy about my funds being stuck on a card that I didn't have access to anymore. So basically, how I was able to solve this, the cards, it wasn't working at all. And all my, I don't know, 1 or 2 weeks of my funds was on that card. So what I ended up doing was that I found at the time it was still used Twitter. And on Twitter, I found a random person's post saying that in Spain, where I live, we moved here, in Spain where I live, there is one small bank still that has, not too many branches, but for some reason cards still worked in that branch. I don't know why. And so I found this tweet from this random person, and then I looked up, where the nearest branch was to me. I needed to travel like half an hour or so, but in the end it did work. I was able to withdraw my money in smaller amounts. I did need to make, I don't know, 3 or 4 attempts at the ATM machine, but I was able to withdraw my money. And that was just the biggest, also it was a scandal. It was like the biggest holdup that I had, I think, which happened in 2020. But other payment methods also could have difficulties. In one instance, my PayPal, I got a considerable amount of money transferred to my PayPal, and then when I transferred it to my PayPal, I just noticed that PayPal was requesting an ID from me to verify my account or whatever. So again, that took an additional number of days before I was able to get to my money actually. And just to give you another example, I think with Wise, I also use Wise, which was called TransferWise before. With Wise, I transferred some money to my Wise account, and that too was, I think, number of days late. So what I'm just trying to say here is that even banks could have issues, right? I even had like issues with my bank. All of these payment methods are mostly reliable. I wouldn't say they are unreliable, but they're mostly reliable. However, all of them could have and did have problems in the past. So the solution that I'm proposing to this, and that worked for me at least very well, is that when I get my payment on Upwork, when the payment arrives into my Upwork account, what I do is that I never transfer the whole amount onto one payment method. I never set like an automatic transfer to one of the payment methods, exactly, to avoid any of these scenarios that I just described. So what I do is that each time when I get a payment from Upwork, I basically split them to, I don't know, $300, $400, $500, and I only transfer like the smaller amount onto one payment method. And when that arrived safely and securely, then I withdraw another $400, $500, let's say, dollars to the next payment method that I have set up. In this way, not all payment methods are equal in terms of fees. So some payment methods are a bit more expensive than others. But since I followed this rule, let's make it as a rule, or let's call it a kind of rule. Since I followed this rule for myself, I never really had this issue that all of my funds or all of my payment got stuck in a single payment method. And just to quickly describe how my payment methods are set up, I basically use 3 payment methods that are my favorite, or those are the ones that I use. And again, I'm based in Spain, in Europe. You might have other options available in your country, I don't know. But what I do is that I have my PayPal, I transfer, let's say, a third of my payment to PayPal each time I get paid. And the thing about PayPal, for me at least, since the conversion rate is not great with PayPal between US dollars and euros, I usually pay close to 5% when using PayPal, but it arrives right away into my PayPal account and I'm able to transfer it to my bank account right away again. So it's instant money, but it's around 5%. All right, the second payment method that I have set up is Payoneer. Payoneer is, for me, it costs around, if I remember correctly, 1 or 2%. And that is also instant money. What I do is that I receive the money into my Payoneer account, and then in my Payoneer account, it's still US dollars. And then I load that money into my Wise account because Payoneer provides a virtual credit card that I can use to load the money instantly again to my Wise account. And then on Wise, I can convert it like really well. So if I remember correctly, the fee is like maybe 1 or 2%. And then I also use Wise as a third option. And with Wise, there is a payment method called, in the US, called ACH, I believe, which takes 1 or 2 days to get paid with ACH. But it's free. So it's completely free. You receive your money in USD. And with Wise, what you can do is that you can have like a local US bank account number, and you can connect that local US bank account number to your Upwork account. And again, it's a 1 day to get your money, but it's free. It's completely free. And once it's in your Wise account, you can convert it, or I convert it to euros. So, but again, each time I get paid, this is like a rule for me. I use all three of these payment methods always, and not because I necessarily need that money right away, but because I don't want to have the hassle of having, I don't know, thousands of dollars stuck in one payment method, and it's just a headache. If let's say $400 or $500 get stuck somewhere, then whatever, I'll wait a couple of days, a week, for the issue to resolve itself, and it usually does, and it's not a big deal. So again, just mentioning these because hope it makes someone else's life easier. And so I think that's it for this video. Just a reminder, I would like to still upload videos about how to make freelancing easier for others, what my experiences are. But also, I'm super interested in talking to people who are in other fields. For example, if you're in affiliate marketing or in just marketing in general, or if you are building a SaaS or any kind of side project, or building a newsletter, whatever. If you feel like you would like to have a chit chat, reach out to someone, build like a little network, please reach out to me. And because it would be cool to get to know people in the space. But until then, until the next video, I wish you a nice day and see you soon. Bye.